What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Jordy, and welcome back to F1 2020. It's been a few days since we finished up with F1 23, my team. We've got one more live stream on that game coming up, and we're just a few short days away from the official release of F1 24. So I thought, why not come back and revisit what is largely regarded as the best F1 game ever. Certainly the best one that Codemasters have made. Now, I've made a few statements in the past year since F1 23 came out that I feel as though F1 23 is the better game in terms of handling, for sure. Now I'm here to back it up. Of course, 2020, I played that right before jumping over to 23 when that game came out. So, and I've been saying F1 23 felt better since launch. But now we'll see. 434 hours later, we are back on F1 2020. Now, this one I put over 100 hours into. Oh, mate, I miss this. Something that the F1 games did, I don't know about 2018, I can't remember, but 2019 and 2020, they did, pretty much, oh my god, Charisma Minardi, what's wrong with me? They had these ongoing, like the tracks that reacted as you went through the menus. I mean, look at this. Mail, unread messages. I got, oh my god, the Hanoi circuit. Vietnam. We definitely have to try that. We need to have a look at like all the tracks that are different and definitely test them all out. I've got my team. Pepsi Max Racing. This was the original. Before we actually did the thing in my team. Mario Monaco. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, so you could tell by these saves that I did literally play them right before F1 23 came out. We need to look at the original Sly Team Racing. Let's load into this right away. We got the old team headquarters, or at least this is what it looks like in the background. We didn't really see much of this at all in F1 23. But yeah, we got music in the background. This is crazy. Look at this. Look at the lighting. Oh my god. I mean, obviously we can't look at it proper, unfortunately, because we're right at the end of season 1. We got a different theme as well. I think they added a new My Team, headquarters theme at the end of, when F1 22 came out, so the new regulations. Man, look at this. Wasn't the worst car in the grid. That's cool to see. Oh my god, look at how many parts I used compared to our last few seasons in F1 23. God damn. Wowza. And I did 50% races on this. I only did 35% on F1 23. Now, that would sound like it does affect it, but of course, you know, they kind of change it as to, you know, how long you're doing your events and stuff. I finished P3 in the driver standings. What difficulty did I have this on to finish P3 in the second worst car? This is going to be really cool to actually see my original 75. Wow. So I really jumped up. I went from 75 to 85 in F1 23. Actually, I think we started on 80 in F1 23. That's for sure. But 75 is crazy. Okay, no wonder I finished so high. Wowza. Okay, so season results. Look at all these results as well. A lot of P1s. I really could have won the title if it weren't for how good the Mercedes was, to be quite honest. Because obviously the Mercedes is far and above ahead of everybody else. We've got customization. Let's look at this then. This is the original Sly Team Racing livery. So, yeah, this was sort of the concept. The very first one. So weird to see. Let's have a look at this. Characters. Oh, this is different. Look at this. Wow, the original Sly Team Racing overall, still the same avatar. But look at this. Look at this helmet. This helmet's actually kind of cool. Wow. I've actually completely forgotten about the helmet. Character. Back when you got to choose your character poses? Oh my god. You can't do this now. I think they removed this. And like, it's all randomized now when you go through the menus. I I want them to bring that back. Podium emotes. Let's actually have a look how different that was. I think it's more or less the same. I mean, there's also locked items. Joy jump. Yeah, this is one of the... yeah, wow, okay. We don't have the hammer time one. Maybe that wasn't a thing. But there's the OG. Wow. And it's definitely... I definitely prefer... I don't know. I don't know whether I prefer the new theme or the old theme. But I can't get off the menu because it's busy loading stuff. There we go. All right. Look at the lighting. That is so much... It genuinely looks better to me. But then again, it is a different room, and obviously the lighting would be a little different in F123 because it's a massive computer screen behind you. But I miss this. I think I prefer this headquarters, to be quite honest with you. You know, I prefer the ground effects cars. I genuinely think they look better, but wow. It would be really cool if the headquarters got to change, because of course, like, you know, your facilities changed as you level up stuff, but obviously, you know, the headquarters stays the same. But that is really, really cool. So, obviously we're going to jump into multiplayer and see if there's people still playing. I loved playing the multiplayer in this game towards the end of F123. Towards the end, up until we got F123. Got F2. We've got classic cars in this game. I personally didn't care too much for them, though, to be quite honest. And it was so much easier to access stuff. I didn't realise that. I didn't acknowledge it right away. But like as soon as you get on the screen, you could continue your current career. That's like front and centre. One click of R1 and you'll find Grand Prix championships. That's a totally new thing. Wow, what is this? Okay, so wow, that is totally something different, and I never did anything with it. But let's go into time trial. F1 2020. Look at these old cars. The W11. We got one of the worst Ferraris of all time. The RB. Oh well, the Red Bull. Can't call it RB now. Look at the Renault. So this was before the before Alpine came in. We've got AlphaTauri. This was the very first iteration of the AlphaTauri. They won Monza with Pierre Gasly. We've got the Racing Point team. One season before Aston Martin were a thing. We've got Alfa Romeo. What a great livery that is. Haas. What an amazing livery. I miss this, where the Haas was mostly black, in my opinion. And here's the Williams that I didn't do too much driving of. Yeah, the 2020 Williams scored no points. But it wasn't the worst Williams car of all time. And then, of course, I've got the Sly Team Racing car. We're going to go with Williams. Oh, mate, this is already way better. We can actually do wet time trials. You can't do that anymore. You genuinely can't do that anymore. So, I think as a whole, 2020 might be a better game in terms of, like, quality of life, perhaps. But in handling, I think I'm still going to stick with F1 23. Again, we'll have to see. So, let's go through this. So look at this. Vietnam. Oh my god. We definitely need to do a little race against the AI around Vietnam. That would be really cool. But we really need to test the AI. Pretty much everything is more or less the same. Other than Vietnam. Okay, so... And it's literally like Mario Kart DS, where the track evolves. Like the song evolves as you go through. But yeah, this was when the first track of the calendar was Melbourne. That's crazy. Right, so we're going to do Bahrain. All right. Let's go into my assists. I want to see... I think I had them pretty much the same as before. Pit assist was... I don't know about this. Would that be pit lane assist? I think it was. I don't know. I think it was before, like, the pressing X to turn in. We didn't have the formation lap neither. I think that was an F1 21 thing, or was that a 22? I have no idea. But you know what? I think it's time to get into it. We can customize the weather and time of day. Mate, you can't do that before getting into a time trial. You have to do it while transitioning to another track when you've already done it. Mate, and I miss the themes. Like, wow. It just feels better. Oh, mate, the old loading, the old transition. Look at this. Genuinely, it might look better. I know they have to do certain downgrading, but this is slower. Like the panning of the camera is certainly slower. I miss these overalls. I'm not gonna lie. The 2020 overalls were goated. The 2019 ones were really good as well. I do believe the 2019 car looked better, in my opinion. Do I even have any setups? No, I don't. So I must use like the balanced setup throughout the entire game. This is crazy. So my top time with this was 129.1. So it would be nice to see if I've actually improved since. Oh mate, the cars sound different. I loved this sound. The Mercedes sound is incredible. Oh my god, yep, the understeer is all there. That was certainly different. We are using a balanced setup though, as opposed to the normal one. We're already losing time when it comes to the Delta. I may or may not have put realistic on. I don't think I did. So I think we'll be slower. We're going to be a lot slower. Right, I think... Really? Oh yeah, right. We should put it on equal. We should definitely put it on equal. And then go from there, I think. I think definitely add some setup to the front, that's for sure. There's a bit too much understeer. What is this? That is crazy. Look how limited it was. That is absolutely insane. So I can't just put it up by 5 anymore. Right, I'll put it up by 1. I completely forgot about that. This is probably like nearly exactly how I felt when we first did wow, that's so much better. When we first did F123, it was definitely very different. Alright, yeah, okay. They're definitely losing time, but I want to see... Oh my god, the understeer! It's so different! At like low speeds anyway. We're already 3/10 down nearly, oh my god. It is so different! Oh, it didn't respond for a second then. What was that? I think there was like some insane input lag. I am playing on a PS5 controller, but it shouldn't really dictate anything as I play last gen on F123. Oh, do you know what would be different compared to 23? 100% would be this for sure. Calibration. Which one is it though? I think it was maximum wheel rates. I already have it at the maximum. Oh my god. Never mind. Oh god. Okay. Right, so I can't change it in the same way that I was able to change F123. So this is just something we have to deal with. This is so weird. But I don't want to come out and say, oh, it's worse just yet, you know? This is so weird, though. Got a cockpit cam. We've got the old Williams wheel. I don't know, it kind of looks a little sharper, you know? We're actually quicker than our original time for certain in Sector 3, that's for sure. I'm going to use the offset cam as I'm trying to transition to use that more. Especially in F124 when we do the driver career mode. Obviously the offset's a lot more realistic, but we're definitely going to beat our original lap when we actually try this. So here we go, our first proper try. Let's see how much better we can actually be. It is certainly a lot different, but this feels so much better. Look at how much time we just gained. Wow. I'm not saying it feels so much better than 23, I'm saying it feels so much better than it did earlier, that's for sure. Look at the time difference. This is how much I've improved. This is 75 difficulty. Oh, it definitely, yeah, around there, definitely responds a little slower Oh, wow. It is so good, honestly, just to be back on this game. It is a good game, for sure. And I'm definitely going to enjoy playing the multiplayer. But we are 7/10 up on our original F1 2020 lap time. That's absolutely crazy. I really do want to try Silverstone. Somehow my lap was not invalidated there. Whatever. We were going to beat the lap time anyway, and I don't want to try it again. Oh my god. The understeer is crazy compared to, you know, F1 23. We are 3/10 up. I'm actually going to try one more lap, but we'll skip ahead. I will say this right now, the curbs are certainly a lot more forgiving than F1 23. I've heard that F1 24 definitely is going to make Jeddah a lot easier, that's for sure. But look at that, half a second up on that original time because of how much we just improved in Sector 3. So I'm 2 seconds quicker than I used to be, and this is like my first few laps back on the game, so that feels really, really good, to be quite honest. And did you hear Jeff then? Man, I missed him. Mark is so annoying in F1 22 and 23. Just, oh, mate, I miss Jeff. He was a lot more monotone, sort of like Max Verstappen's, you know, engineer. Oh my god. I knew it. So obviously they're changing the engine sounds for the replay cams in F1 24. So for F1 22 and 23, the ground effect era cars literally just sounded like these ones, like, which I didn't like. But that was, I just wanted a little bit of confirmation there. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. The vibe is definitely better, although this is the game that, for me, started the downfall of the vibe. Like, every F1 game has essentially been built off of this since, you know, this. Technically, it's all been built off of 2016, but I'm talking in terms of, like, what the games have to offer, and, you know, having the microtransactions and stuff. Maybe it appeared before, but, you know, when it comes to what the game has to offer, it's sort of all been built off of 2020, essentially. Other than, like, the removal of classic cars, of course. Okay, let's try a Grand Prix then. Should probably start a new one. Yes. So, I want to try Silverstone because I remember not liking Silverstone in, you know, F1 2020 and 2019, etc. And I really loved it in 23 because they made some big changes to it. So, I do really want to use the Williams, but I think we should use a different car. And honestly, I think we're going to use the AlphaTauri because AlphaTauri, they're not a thing now. It's, you know, it's Visa Cash App RB. So, you know what, let's have a blast from the past. A little nod back to the OG. AlphaTauri, Daniel Kvyat, and we've got Pierre Gasly. So we're going to be Gasly, and we're going to do Silverstone for sure. So, let's go. So I was pushing it on 80 after I finished my team. Okay, that's good to note. All right, so let's actually push this up to, what's the max level? 110, so it still is 110. Let's do 95, because that's what I'm at currently. Now, I got my ass handed to me in F1 24's beta. I'm mentioning that now because nobody's going to be watching, nobody from EA is watching this video. So I played the beta, got my ass handed to me against the AI, so at 95. But I want to see how different 2020 will be in that regard. So weather and time of day, let's go clear dry, official starting time. And yeah, we'll just do... Hey, quickfire still exists. I thought they only put that in when, you know, sprint races were a thing. Because sprints weren't a thing until the season after this, of course. So, you know, here we go then. Let's do it. I'm really excited. So there was no, like, formation laps or anything. We're just going to fully get into it. We're going to get stuck in. And I can't wait. I am genuinely really, really excited. My first race back on F1 2020. Let's go! Skip this. We don't need it. Oh, that... I think the loading felt a lot more smoother, for sure.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Oh, I miss you, Jeff. I miss you so much. Look at the old MFD as well. Wow. They had that for years. It looked like that for years until F123. Alright, car setup. Yeah, we'll just have to go with the balanced, won't we? I think, however... Oh, I think it's the same throughout. Right, so let's put front wing aero at 7. Because Maggots and Beckett's I remember being really difficult originally. I've got a Williams in front of me. How far back am I? P18! Oh my god, I was half throttling and it was already there. This was also the first game that I did overtake. But here we go! I'm gonna have to break through that. And as you can see, the curb's a lot more forgiving, but we are already losing position. So we're gonna have a little dive down here. Have a look inside of the racing point of Sergio Perez. See if we can switch back there. Definitely big collision with Raikkonen, but let's see what we can do now. P14, Sergio Perez is already getting there. I'm already missing having the rear view thing. But it doesn't feel too bad so far. We'll have to see where we are by the end. The first lap's not even done yet, Jeff. Perez is absolutely right on my arse, which he should be. That racing point was insane this season, as it basically copied the Mercedes. So, I'm not too worried. Oh my god! The understeer is palpable, but we've already run out of ERS. And there goes Sergio Perez. That makes sense though, I'm not too worried about that. Should have probably put equal performance on, but oh well. Okay. Definitely something we need to get used to, but we'll see if we can hang back. Lewis Hamilton leads, or at least the fastest lap, so he probably does lead, judging from that. Right, so we really need to watch how much ERS we're spending. Sergio Perez is already trying to challenge the McLaren of Lando Norris. We're going to have another dive down the inside. There's a bit of contact, that's for sure. God, this is so different.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
It is so different and weird, but definitely prefer F123. That is for sure. You know? But I already definitely feel the drastic difference with Silverstone. Like, I think the more drastic difference was on Maggots and Beckett's. I think Maggots and Beckett's was like a huge, huge improvement in F123. And that was really the only section I found a lot of trouble with. But yeah, Sergio Perez trying to look on the inside of cops. Maybe we just have to let him go. I don't know. But I feel like he's just not going to make a move quick enough. God, the understeer is absolutely crazy. I don't know how to feel about it. But 95 difficulty is definitely way too difficult for us on this game, because we are not gaining any ground. Maybe half throttling sometimes. Like, I'm driving exactly how I would on F123, but maybe like a little letting go of the throttle sometimes might be a pretty good idea.
DRS is now enabled.
DRS now enabled, okay. Yeah, a lot of the track feels the same apart from Maggots and Beckett's, to be honest. They made some really worthwhile changes there. I wanted to at least get in the points, but we're now on our last lap. We're gonna get DRS. There we go. Maybe that could be a good chance to catch up to Grosjean. Probably not though. It's not the worst thing in the world. This is pretty much where you would normally expect an AlphaTauri to be. So it's not the worst thing ever, of course. But I think 90 would be a difficulty more suited to me right now. But we're going to try Vietnam next, which is going to be absolutely crazy. Come on, baby. Let's see if we can get Grosjean before Perez comes overtaking us. Why is he starting so far back? I guess P14 will have to deal with then, or maybe we could get... I'm sorry, Grosjean. We've stolen P13. We'll have to revisit the stewards after that.
Race over. Take care of the car.
The theme used to play after crossing the line. That's crazy. That is certainly different. And I was driver of the day for the most overtakes. Of course I was. I'm the best. That was awful. Okay, so
Here we are then,
look at Toto Wolff. Oh my god. Yeah, so drastically different, that's for sure. And I do still prefer F123 in terms of the handling. I don't care if I get any hate for that, to be quite honest.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations.
Albon in the Red
amongst
Bull. Oh my
team.
god.
And they certainly
What a
deserve it.
throwback. But of course, this
Some
was...
amazing talents out on the
Of
track
course,
today.
Lewis Hamilton
Anthony,
wins.
Who would you pick?
God, I don't miss this era. I'm not gonna lie. People genuinely do miss this era, but like, it's nostalgia glasses, you know? Like, the 2021 season was great, and so was the 2016 season, but every season other than that was just Mercedes dominance. Little blips of Ferrari here and there, but yeah, it was just not an era to remember, that's for sure. Okay, so let's go F1 2020 again, and this time we're going to use the Renault. We're going to use the Daniel Ricciardo, and yeah, of course I'm going to use Ricciardo. Let's go. Vietnam, let's do it, people. Race distance 3 laps. AI driver 90. Let's see how that feels. Let's go. Start session. Let's do it. 90 should feel good. But then again, this is a track that is exclusive to F1 2020. And they never actually ended up doing it in real life, which sucks because I actually do enjoy this track. I do think the final corner is taking the piss a little bit, and you'll see why. I think it's the final corner. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a really, really cool track. And honestly, it shares a lot of similarities with Jeddah, with a lot of the big straights. So it's not like we lost anything massive, you know. I don't know, we'll see though. We'll see how I feel about it when we actually drive our first laps of it. So here we go. Let's go. Come on. I don't miss last gen loading though. Hopefully, like, I haven't played a next gen F1 game yet. Even though I do have access to the next gen F1 23, I just saw no point in playing it. Since all my saves are on the last gen. But yeah, I genuinely thought these games loaded quicker, but apparently not. So that's something to think about. I thought the loading screens got slower, you know, as we go through games in the last gen. But yeah, apparently this is not that good at all. I mean, it hasn't even fully loaded yet, as you can tell by some textures not fully loading in. Case in point, the Renault logos, but it's not a big deal at all. So let's go, people. Didn't do setup. But yeah, I'm half throttling here. So I guess you just always like full revving it in this game. But look at the amazing start here in the Renault. Oh my god. Oh, Bottas. Bottas squeezes us out. It's a very narrow track. This is so weird. What is that Ferrari doing? Vettel, what are you doing? And look at how we rode the curb there. Like I said earlier, a lot more forgiving. But here we go, we're on 90 difficulty now, so let's see what we can do. Bottas and Albon fighting, Verstappen chasing down Hamilton.
That's a strong start. Well done.
Alright. The RS runs out quite quickly compared to previous games. And again, we were using quite a lot of it down that straight. See if we can dive bomb into this hairpin. Under braking. Squeeze Albon out there. very, very narrow, that's for sure. It quite, maybe not would have worked well in real life, but who knows, who knows. Oh my god, wait, Sochi's in this game, isn't it? Oh my god, we need to try that. I completely glossed over Sochi, or like completely forgot about it. But yeah, this understeer, oh my god. Don't have enough downforce, clearly. We should probably look at the MFD. But yeah, that final corner, very similar to Miami, to be quite honest. But I mean, look at how close you get to the wall. Right, let's put front brake bias all the way down. That usually helps things in F123. Oh my god, I can't get on the throttle nearly as early as I would like. I'm just going to completely cut the track here. Only a warning, that would be a penalty on recent games. But 90 difficulty might still not be enough. I don't know. This game is just so weird now. I think we are pulling on Bottas a little bit. I don't know though. They'll have slipstream. God, the handling. I can't get used to it again. It's so sensitive, you know? It's a lot more sensitive. Like, there's no fighting of the steering whatsoever. And I think that's what is throwing me off. At low speeds especially. Because in 23, I really liked that there was a lot of correcting of the handling. But I do not feel confident around the wheel. We've already lost a second to Bottas. So 85 might be my viable difficulty at this point. I don't know. This is so weird. But it feels very similar to Miami. There's a few similarities between Vietnam and Miami, I must say. It would be really cool if they brought this track back as DLC, though. I'm surprised they didn't, considering they brought back, like, France, Portimao. But France isn't going to be in F124. God, it says I could go full throttle, but I can't get round that corner. Albon's going to get DRS on me. So we're going to burn ERS to stay ahead here. This is such a long straight. It's very Vegas-like, isn't it? Here comes Albon. Around the outside. And you know what? Yeah, he's completely done me there. So weird. Look how far back the Ferraris are. And look at how much time we lost to the front three. Like, the difficulty's so different. It is so weird. And sometimes it just doesn't respond at times. Like, it feels like there's a bit of lag in the responsiveness of the cars. And Lewis Hamilton wins again. Like, we're really getting to revisit this old era, aren't we? I do not miss it.
Okay, pick up
Oh, wow. That was eventful. I'm just not good at the game anymore, am I? Lando Norris, driver of the day. Well, I am certainly better than I was, so 85 will probably be the ideal difficulty, considering I am 2 seconds quicker. According to Bahrain, anyway. But yeah, that is certainly something that feels so different.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their...
Alright.
Let's focus on the driver of the day.
Let's go. Right, so we're going to do Sochi now, but I'm going to just do a time trial of that one. Oh no, because I do want to test the AI still, so... Sorry about that, bit of a burp. So, we'll do Sochi with AI. Okay. Grand Prix. And let's be... I do want to be Verstappen, not gonna lie. God, look at how different he looks in this game. Albon looks good. Albon just hasn't changed, to be quite honest. Like, facially, he just has not changed. I do prefer the overalls. They're black instead of dark blue, or at least they look black anyway. I can't really tell, but we'll be Verstappen. Where is Sochi then? There it is. We got Japan as well. But yeah, other than that, it's not too different. So, Sochi, I have missed this track. I really have. Another 3 laps. This time we'll do 85. We still can't do any grid editing. Yeah, still can't do any grid editing, unfortunately. But other than that, let's go. And I used to love this track, especially in multiplayer. This was such a fun track to do in multiplayer, that's for sure. That is for absolute sure. And we might even save multiplayer for another video. I'm not too sure. Because this video is going to prove to be quite long anyway. So we might do 2 separate videos that I'll upload on the same day, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, here we go, though.
With the red.
Oh my god! Let's go, Sochi. I'll see how long the recording is by the end of this. Yeah, here we go. We're actually starting P2, and there is Hamilton. So, this was the year before Verstappen won the championship, of course, so this is going to be totally different. I want some extra downforce on the front. Other than that, let's go. But yeah, we just go full throttle. Let's go! And we are underway, and we get the better launch on Hamilton. Let's go. Let's see if we can keep it. We'll be getting the slipstream. I think it's a right turn coming up, I don't really remember. Hamilton looking to challenge us, and we're going to get the elbow out. That is lovely. Oh, mate, I miss this track. I love this turn. I'm not going to lie. But we're out in front, we can save some ERS. I think we'll use it a little bit out of corners. But let's see how good the AI manages to keep up with us on 85 difficulty.
Nice start. Let's keep it up.
This track definitely feels so good. But I mean, look at us running over the curbs there. It's just, the curbs are more or less nearly non-existent. Like, you could they look like they impact the car, but they don't really impact the speed, you know? I miss this track. Look at the scenery on the right. Oh, man. Certainly so different. But yeah, this is a little humbling, you know, having to play on 85 difficulty again, you know? And F124 looks to be, it might be the same way. But I like that, having to like learn the handling again, you know? It's definitely more difficult, but I do prefer 23. I do feel like that is better. But it's not bad by any means. I could definitely go back to playing this regularly if I really wanted to. Yeah, we are leading, and we have a pretty commanding lead on Hamilton right now. That's for sure. Oh. A lot of letting go of the throttle definitely would be a lot of gearbox wear. But I mean, look at that. Going over that curb was more or less non-existent, you know? But I'm so scared to take those risks because I'm like so used to F123 where every curb was deadly, bro. Like, especially at tracks like Jeddah, but on tracks like Silverstone, like, whatever curb would hit you, it would damage your floor, for example, which would really impact your handling. But yeah, 85 seems to be my ideal difficulty on this game. 10 difficulties lower than F1 23, so that is certainly humbling. But I like that. You know, this is pretty much what the F1 24 live stream is going to look like. A lot of that testing. But I mean, look at that. That was a massive looking curb that we just rode over entirely with no consequence. Like, that's a big reason why F1 23 is better. And typical Verstappen, we're running over that bollard. But yeah, no consequences whatsoever, so the penalty system is certainly a bit better. And yeah, there's just no damage whatsoever. We're just gaining so much time, and the game just lets us do that. There was no punishment for that, you know? And that's why I do feel as though 23 is better. Like, a lot of people do say that F1 2020 is the better game. Like, yeah, sure, but clearly you're a little biased, you know? Because 23, yes, it's EA branded. Yes, it's got stuff like F1 World, but objectively, it is the better game. F1 23 is the better game. I've put nearly an hour into 2020 now, and I can still wholeheartedly say that, you know? Again, not that 2020 is bad. It's easily the second best F1 game, in my opinion. But, yeah. There's no overcorrection needed. That was one of my favourite, or well, correction in general, that was one of my favourite things that they added in F1 23. Where you had to really correct the car coming out of some corners. But there's no correction whatsoever. It's just full lock entirely. And it's just, the driving is just so much easier. So much easier. And that was a pretty dominating and commanding race from us. Round the final corner, cross the line. And there's the win for Max Verstappen. I do miss this track. It's a shame that Russia and Putin have gone completely insane. Lance Stroll, driver of the day. He looks so weird in this game. They did him so dirty. Christian Horner, look at the graphics. I miss this. This isn't a thing. That cutscene wasn't a thing. You know, where we saw the team principles. And one thing I did notice in some F1 24 previews, I'll wait till the talking is finished. One thing I have noticed in some F1 24 previews that Jarno Otmir did for his career mode thing, I think the team principles are back. Because I genuinely saw James Vowles in one of the cutscenes. Because like he chose Williams, so James Vowles was in one of the, you know, pre-session cutscenes in FP1, which is really cool that they've brought that back. But yeah, this game had it already, you know. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to experience in terms of the single player, that's for sure. But you know what? It's now time to actually hop into the multiplayer. Let's see if there's any servers open first of all. One server. Oh my god, it's died. It's dead. I'm playing. This is 7 PM in Britain, by the way. This is crazy. Nobody's playing at all. I mean, oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, so I was genuinely going to do some multiplayer races, but it seems as though when F1 23 came out, everybody just moved over to that game, perhaps. That's crazy. I genuinely, like, when I played last year, there was at least like 3 or 4 lobbies always open, but this is crazy how much it's changed. Bear in mind, 2020 obviously doesn't have the advantage that 23 does of like crossplay. But yeah, this being the only server, the only lobby open, that's sad. That's genuinely sad, honestly. And I don't really want to play classic cars. Even though it's cool that they're there, and we'll definitely have a look at them while I have these closing thoughts. I genuinely I don't really feel much for classic cars, to be quite honest. You know, I don't feel as though the game needs it. It's cool that they're there, and I definitely prefer them over supercars, but quite frankly, they don't really need to be there. if they're just there to drive. Like, I think if they're going to bring them back, they need to have them with a lot more purpose, that's for sure. But it's cool to see some of these cars for sure, especially the 2010 McLaren, because I grew up supporting Vodafone McLaren Mercedes when I watched F1 as a child, and then obviously I transitioned to, liking, Williams instead. And look at this. So our drivers were George Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Crazy. But yeah, that is it for F1 2020. That was our little revisit. Yeah, really cool to come back. It is such a shame. I mean, I'll check again. We have ranked in this game as well. I thought ranked was, exclusive to F1 23. I thought it was just added in that game, but apparently it was not. But wow. Previous week's results, global leaderboard. I want to see how many people are actually playing. So there are still a decent number of people playing, which is cool. But yeah, when it comes to unranked, it's just done. There's nobody there. I mean, we could try some other time, but yeah, I just don't have that time. Like, so hopefully the next time we come back on the game, there'll be more people. But judging from the fact this is 7 p.m., it should be, I mean, it is a Wednesday, so who knows? But it genuinely should be a little bit more populated, for sure. Like, more than 2 players playing on the PlayStation. Like, come on. But yeah, once again, that was F1 2020 in 2024, and that was also a little comparison to F1 23. I do 100% stand by the fact that F1 23 is the better game. However, I do think presentation is better in 2020, for sure. And graphics, arguable, very arguable. There's a lot more jaggies in F1 23 on the last gen version, and I am going to count the last gen version as, yeah, this is also last gen. So, yeah, I think in some instances this game definitely looks better graphically, which is another point towards why we need a new engine at this point, because they're pushing it so much to its limits on next gen that they're having to dial it down for last gen, Surely F1 26 needs to be the new engine. Maybe even F1 25. Like, have another F1 2015 situation where you just remove career and everything, and just, put out the new engine and have people play with that for the year and have more time to make a much better career mode in F1 26. I would genuinely be happy with that.